So for day 23, I absolutely could not be in the barn anymore. So I decided to work on trailer loading. And you'll see I'm wearing a vest. So it's a race safe vest. And I like to wear it, especially when trailer loading, because I don't want to get squished. And knowing how Dorado can be claustrophobic, I definitely have it on. So I worked on giving him some treats being near the trailer. And you can see he's pretty nervous about it. So I'm going to work on giving him some cookies near it. And just getting him comfortable being in that space right there. So now I'm going to step into the trailer. Kind of let him get his head in so he get orientated with the lighting. Give him a cookie. And now I'm going to make him back up. So I think it's really important that I have my horses back up. It's not just about getting them in the trailer. It's about getting them comfortable around the trailer, backing up from the trailer. It's kind of like the whole space is where you want them to be comfortable. So then there's not really the pressure to get into the trailer. I'm just wanting him to kind of trust me and to step up. So you see, he's really worried about just the trailer. So because he is so tense about it, I'm going to work on sending him past it. But right here, he wants to stick his shoulder and just make me move. See that? So I'm trying to hold my ground a little bit and bump him with my hand. And I'm wanting him to go through here. Now, he's done this plenty of times. And the cone and the barrel work as kind of a good place for him to put a focus on to go through. So because he has worked with those objects, I'm just leaving them there. But you can see he's really concerned. He's moving all around. He's just very anxious. Finally stops for a second, licks and chews. But I'm trying to slow his brain down. So here where he finally slowed down, dropped his head a little and took a breath, was really good. And I went to give him a rub, and he really didn't want any part of that. So that was better. But he still, when he gets into that kind of high anxious mode, Dorado doesn't want to do what Dorado doesn't want to do. So I'm trying to get him to slow down and to think about it in steps. And right here, that was almost a hairy moment. He went to run me over with the shoulder, and I went to bump him off with my hand, and then it happened so fast, he spun around before I know it. I saw his hind end. And you kind of go, oh boy. But it happens. That's why we have to take all these precautions. I'm going to ask for that again. That was better. Now I've got it a little bit shorter so I can try to slow him down so he doesn't think that he has to run past the trailer. I want him to just walk and to start to think. So now I'm going to give him a rub. He just works himself up to just run. And I have to make him slow everything down, because once he thinks his way through, he's really good and he starts to relax. But it can kind of take some convincing. He's not always sure that I have the right answer right now. He's getting better and better. So now you see he's starting to consider there even being an answer of walking towards the trailer. That's kind of the first start. Getting them to reach down with their head and neck, and just one step at a time. That was really good. Give him a rub. Now, I know he'll walk in and follow me, but I also like to teach them to send in as well. I was a little concerned about walking in with him in the beginning because I didn't want him to get scared and kind of squish me in there. So I wanted to work to make sure I could get him comfortable outside of it and then stepping up on it. And just getting me in that line of sight next to him in the trailer. And now I've jumped up in the trailer to ask him on. Just hanging out there for a second, and then I'm going to ask him to back off. It's really important that I teach him to back off, so again, he doesn't get scared and bolt in the trailer and try and squish me. I don't really like to be squished. So you see I'm banging on the trailer. Sometimes when they get in there, they'll hear that steel and then get scared. So working on backing him up. And now we're going to walk away from the trailer. Again, I don't want him to run me over if he gets scared. I think it's important, too, to go and to come back, kind of like what I practice in the wash rack. I do a lot of work, and then I would walk away. Kind of, you can come back to it a little fresher. He's getting much more comfortable, and he's getting cookies while we're in there. We're just going to hang out for a little bit. Then I'm going to ask him to back off. Give him another cookie. I'm going to ask him back on. And then we got all 4 feet on. Now, I don't want him to walk all the way in. I want him to stand on the edge so we can practice now backing off, which that was really good. Sometimes horses get scared about walking off the trailer cliff, as I call it. So now I'm going to go back to sending him in, since he's been in already. Now here, I make a mistake of kind of asking too much pressure. He gave me 1 step, and I didn't take off the pressure with the rope, and then he said, "I'm out of here." So he came back up. That's the step that I should have rewarded before. And then ask again. Again, it's really important to have that long of a rope, too, because then he's not, quote-unquote, getting away. He has a slick little move like you saw where he just turns his head and he runs. And I've tried to be pretty adamant about staying on top of that. He's giving me some good stuff right here. We're just going to hang out for a little bit. And then I add a little bit more pressure. That was really good. Ask him again. And just wait, letting him just be happy being there. Again, and there's no rush to, get all 4 feet in. I want him to figure out the process with his feet. I want him to get used to me being by his shoulder. That was really nice. He almost thought about going all the way in. And gave him a cookie, rubbing by the barrel. Letting him just hang there for a minute. Asking him to back off. Now we're going to walk away. That was really nice. Do a little reset. Come back to the trailer. See, he's getting much more relaxed now. There we go. We got all 4 feet. And he wants to turn himself around, which is fine for right now. I'm going to give him a cookie for hanging out up there. I'm going to ask him to come off. It was funny because he came off the trailer kind of like we were in a new place. But we hadn't gone anywhere. We're going to turn around and head back on the trailer. It's time I walk in. And then we're going to back off. And here he starts to go in the trailer without me giving him the sending cue, which is really good. And then I just kind of tell him to walk on, give him a little click click. That was really good. You'll see I've got that pad in that trailer to help it not make such a loud rattling sound. And now I'm working on closing the door halfway. It's a solid black door. This trailer can be hard for horses because it's black on the inside, but if I can get him to load in this, I can get him to load basically in anything. So now I'm working on graduating with closing the door. He actually did really good here because he thought about leaving, but he waited for me to come back. And I told him to back up a step and then asked him off. That was really nice. Give him the rub. Now I'm going to shut the door. And I want him to come up and touch the trailer. Again, just being comfortable around it. Trailer's not going to bite him. And you see he's got a leg relaxed. And I'm opening it now a little bit so he can get comfortable with me opening and closing the door. Oftentimes I'm always loading by myself, so I have to get pretty efficient and make sure that I teach my horses so that it's safe, and I really don't like to get hurt. So now he's much better with walking around the trailer. I like kind of ending where there's a good place. Walked on and off the trailer. I'm going to get him to back. Really good. He started to tuck his head when I said back. And then I could give him a rub. Then just ended up giving him rubs, and he was nice and licking, chewing, and called it a day for there.